I was just a mining woman, and I didn't understand the legal language.
In restoring child rights and human rights in many countries during these 20 years. So
don't despair. Miracles have occurred in the past.
This year, Positive Spin celebrates 25 years of presenting positive, innovative, and solution-oriented news from all around the world. We start this anniversary year by showcasing videos from some of the major content areas we feature on Positive Spin. Presentations on the UN, peace, environment, human rights, youth, and music and culture. We hope you enjoy the show.
My name is Jumana Rizk, and I'm the founder and directress of Peace Lights. Peace Lights is a movement of like-minded people who are committed to make a difference in the world. This event is going out in the streets and offering to people a way to connect to each other. People are taking bungee cords and wrapping it around their waists. And then they're taking another bungee cord and connecting to another 2 or 3 people. The idea here is that they're physicalizing the invisible connections between us all. And they're getting a visceral experience of what it's like to constantly be supported and connected by everybody and everything around them.
People should kind of take away from that we're all connected. We don't need bungee cords to be connected. We're all like that every day.
It reminds me of climbing up a mountain when there's a lot of ice and you could fall off the mountain. You got to kind of hook up with other people, or if you don't, you die. So I guess the analogy is maybe we should do that in our regular life, right?
It's teaching you that you need other people.
I just saw people kind of happy, smiling, just good energy, and I had a moment just to stop by and connect. And peace is something that I personally kind of want to achieve also and contribute to.
It was really nice to see people from all different nationalities connecting with each other.
It was very friendly. People were hugging each other, smiling and having fun. It's very touching. It's quite moving.
It's really important that we focus on peace, so I thought that this would just be a wonderful event just to connect with strangers.
The message is you make a difference, so do your part, show you care, get out there and show you care. Connect for peace.
Socrates said, know thyself. But know who you are. You are much bigger than you realize. Much greater than you realize. It's not about your hair. It's not about your face. It's not about your jewelry. It's not about your clothes. It's not about how you look, how you present yourself. Much greater than that is within you. That which was, is, and will be. This is the junction. The infinite and the finite. You are the finite. The infinite is that divine has come to reside inside of you. There is a lit candle inside each human being. And we suffer in darkness because we are not allowing that light to express itself in our lives.
Hello everyone, Halo semuanya.
Olá a todos.
Lieve vrienden, Belgium calling.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you.
У нас так багато роботи щодня для того, щоб захистити нашу планету.
There are many people and industries seeking to destroy and pollute our beautiful environment in the name of greed and profit.
There are also so many of us around the world fighting to protect nature, protect our communities, and to protect one another.
Saya, Indonesia, berjuang untuk melindungi sungai dari polusi plastik dan pencemaran industri.
In my own community, I'm working to hold industrial livestock facilities accountable for their pollution.
Eu estou lutando pelas florestas tropicais e pelas populações que vivem nessa floresta.
Locally, I'm working on air pollution issues, including incineration, fracking, and pollution from industrial sources.
Estamos todavía en procura de mantener este trabajo que le ayuda tanto al planeta.
Sharks are being overfished all over the world. What I'm trying to do is provide the authorities with the scientific information they need so that they can promulgate effective conservation policy.
I am taking action. I am fighting back.
Maar ook jij kan wat doen. In je lokale gemeenschap, in het bedrijf waar je werkt, in jouw school. Je kan gemeenschap vormen.
What are you fighting for?
What are you fighting for?
What are you fighting for? What are you doing?
Vem com a gente, vem trabalhar nesse momento.
Mari bergabung bersama kami dalam gerakan global melindungi bumi.
Let's join the fight.
You okay? You need a minute? Cool. Okay. Listen up, people. I know a thing or two about extinction. And let me tell you, and you'd kind of think this would be obvious, going extinct is a bad thing. And driving yourselves extinct? In 70 million years, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. At least we had an asteroid. What's your excuse? You're headed for a climate disaster, and yet every year governments spend hundreds of billions of public funds on fossil fuel subsidies. Imagine if we had spent hundreds of billions per year subsidizing giant meteors. That's what you're doing right now. Think of all the other things you could do with that money. Around the world, people are living in poverty. Don't you think helping them would make more sense than, I don't know, paying for the demise of your entire species? Let me be real for a second. You've got a huge opportunity right now. As you rebuild your economies and bounce back from this pandemic, this is humanity's big chance. So here's my wild idea. Don't choose extinction. Save your species before it's too late. It's time for you humans to stop making excuses and start making changes. Thank you.
The United Nations is an organization with goals of peace and sustainable development around the world. Their mission is huge, but we're breaking it down in 2 minutes. 17 sustainable development goals. Let's get to them, cause the more you know. Look, in some corners of the world today, people are living on $1 a day. Hey, that's not how it ought to be. So goal 1, eliminate poverty. And goal 2, root out hunger across the globe. There's 800 million people hungry if you wanna know. Number 3 is health and well-being, and getting people the health care that they need in. Learning in school are the hard to go for. Education opens up minds and doors. Goal number 5 is empower girls and women so they can have the same rights that men are given. Number 6, people need water that's clean. Poor sanitation can spread disease. Carbon-free energy is goal number 7, and how to achieve it is the question that's pressing. But if we put our minds together and work hard, we can find a solution, I'm guessing. 17 sustainable development goals to improve life all around the globe. Protecting human health and the environment. Whatever bed we make, we gon' have to lie in it. 17 sustainable development goals to improve life all around the globe. Protecting human health and the environment. Whatever bed we make, we gon' have to lie in it. Now imagine that you work all day for no pay. Economic growth and decent work is goal 8. Goal number 9 is to foster innovation in infrastructure and industrialization. Goal number 10, inequality reduction. 11 is sustainable city construction. 12, well, that's sustainable consumption, so what we use matches up with production. Goal 13 calls for urgent action to combat climate change, cause we know it's happening. 14, protect life under seas. 15, protect life on land. Goal 16 is for peace and justice all over the planet. They're in high demand. And the final goal, number 17, is the critical factor, the heart of the machine. It's the strength in the way we achieve these goals of sustainable development around the globe. Yo, 17 sustainable development goals to improve life all around the globe. Protecting human health and the environment. Whatever bed we make, we gon' have to lie in it. 17 sustainable development goals to improve life all around the globe. Protecting human health and the environment. Whatever bed we make, we gon' have to lie in it.
I believe we should look for a call to action. And once we see the action, hope will inevitably come.
My life, or our lives as human beings, are 100% dependent on nature.
It's crazy how much it affects us, but how much people don't recognize it and realize what it actually is. Human beings are the biggest causes of climate change. But the good thing is there's a solution, and we are part of the solution. There are a number of solutions to climate change, and we don't need to research them. They're already there. A lot of people just think we need to plant trees, but it just doesn't end there. We need to focus on change of mindset, change of mentality. If we are to mitigate the effects of climate change, if we are to end global warming, then we must start young. We must focus on adding curricula that is going to benefit them and the environment.
If we work together as a common family, just one family, in combating and fighting against this climate change and putting in measures, then we're likely to protect our future.
Governments need to definitely increase trial allocations towards areas, sectors, ideas, ideals that are meant to tackle climate change.
We as young people should be included more and should be given a lot of chances to actually articulate our issues with regards to climate change.
We must make sure that everything we do is for climate equity and climate justice.
They need to be aware of all the affairs that are actually happening. So we need to create platforms for them so that they get to be exposed and also understand that they are also partners in driving sustainable development.
Because that's how we'll know we matter. My message to all the children, all the youth, all the adults, all the elderly, even the toddlers is you can be the change. You can be the change the world is looking for right now.
Because at the end of the day, we have a future to protect and we've got an environment to protect as well.
Climate change is an issue. In fact, it's a defining issue. And we're living at a defining moment, and we are the ones who will define how we created this revolution and how we put an end to climate change. My name is Yande Banda and I'm 15 years old.
Let's get to be responsible and stand out.
To the women of the world, from the women delegates and advisors at the First Assembly of the United Nations.
It is important to consider the prevalence of violence within society.
The message to the women of the world is, arise.
The women's movement is a political movement.
Human rights are women's rights, and women's rights are human rights once and for all.
We are all witnessing a historic moment, a moment characterized by unprecedented solidarity.
Today, you have adopted a landmark resolution. We have decided to establish UN Women.
We are the first generation with the possibility to fundamentally change power relations between men and women. Together, we must turn this picture into a reality. Empowering women, empowering humanity, picture it.
Our world is at the crossroads. The COVID-19 pandemic, the climate crisis, and the expansion of digital technology into all areas of our lives have created new threats to human rights. Exclusion and discrimination are rampant, public space is shrinking, poverty and hunger are rising for the first time in decades, millions of children are missing out on their right to education, inequality is deepening, but we can choose a different path. 73 years ago today, the United Nations General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The principles set out in this simple declaration remain the key to realizing all human rights, civil, economic, cultural, social and political, for all people everywhere. Recovery from the pandemic must be an opportunity to expand human rights and freedoms and to rebuild trust. Trust in the justice and impartiality of laws and institutions. Confidence that a life of dignity is within reach. Faith that people can get a fair hearing and resolve their grievances peacefully. The United Nations stands for the rights of every member of our human family.
Today and every day, we will continue to work for justice, equality, dignity, and human rights for all. Happy Human Rights Day.
In the darkest of times, brave men and women stood up. When oppressed, they rose. Together they fought for greater justice, respect, and compassion. They had a dream for a better future. Today we are at a turning point. Stakes are high. Climate change, inequality, hate speech. We may feel overwhelmed, but there is hope. You, we, together can create the change we want. By speaking out, by standing up, by taking action. Be the leader you are looking for. Stand up for human rights.
And now, breaking news. One world consciousness, hate no more, bigotry no more. One world consciousness. One world consciousness, hate no more, bigotry no more. One world consciousness.
Stay tuned in, y'all. You know what I mean.
Thank you for watching Positive Spin. This show is made possible through the generosity of the Patty and Jack Wright Foundation and the Prem Rawat Foundation. Watch and subscribe to our previous episodes on YouTube, and please like us on Facebook. Follow us on Free Speech TV, Roku, Sling, DirecTV, Dish Network, and Apple TV. I'm Bill McCarthy. Stay safe and healthy, and remember, everyone can make their own positive news.